I'm getting together a team for the DC jump. What about it?
Hell yes. Are you kidding me?
Cool. You seen Swoop Lab?
No, huh? Not for a while. Heard that crazy bastard living on the street.
What else is new? I think I know where he's at. We'll find him and Hawkridge, and we got ourselves a team.
I'm in.
All right, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Up in the morning to find all them money gone. So this guy Lee was the big computer wonker, the Chang triad. He figured out how to hide their money so we couldn't find it.
I mean, that guy in there coughing up fur balls is a genius.
Sanskrit sloka, couplet, which is as follows. Sarva Dishanam, Suryaha, Suryaha, Suryaha. This couplet means that there are suns in all directions and that the night sky is full of suns. The existence of this couplet indicates that ancient astronomers understood that the stars visible at night are similar to the sun, or rather, that the sun is a star. This understanding is demonstrated in another sloka, which says that when one sun sinks below the horizon, 1,000 suns take its place. In the Surya Siddhanta, the following appellations have been given to the sun. He, the supreme source of light, Jyoti. Upon the border of darkness he revolves, bringing into being, the creator of creatures, is denominated the golden-wombed, Hiranyagarbha, the blessed, as being the generator. The heliocentric idea could have existed in a rudimentary form in the days of the Rig Veda around 1000 BC. There is an old
Tablets of Thoth, which date back over 36,000 years. The opening scene in the Emerald Tablets, he's told by his father, who's actually Enki, was to go to the land of Cam and help re-kickstart civilization because there was a great flood. So Thoth goes there, he takes a crew with him. Several generations have gone by and the people have become barbaric again. They have lost their technology, their high civilization. So when he opens his door to his ship and his crew walks out with him, these barbarians come to attack him. He raises his staff and he sends out a ray of vibration which actually freezes them. So he has a stun gun or a stun weapon 36,000 years ago. And then he started talking to these people about, I'm here to help you and raise you up to a high level of civilization. So once they did that there and re-kickstarted civilization, he told his crew, spread out around the planet. This is why everything is the same. And when you look into a lot of the space probe data that we have, you can see anomalies in space and on other planets like the moon and Mars that resemble ancient structures that we have in Peru and Egypt. All these similarities can't be coincidence.
You can see it in the video. That's UFO.
Oh, for real, folks, what is this going across the sky?
Alright, y'all don't be freaked out by these, especially these ones going in a straight line. That's Starlink, for sure. I seen it the other night.
The world has glitched. That's a train somewhere.
There is a.
It looks like a freaking train.
But
UFO.
it's like a.
No.
It's beautiful, but it looks like seriously.
It's a
what is
dragon.
that?
It's a dragon. I don't know what that is.
It's a straight line. And it's slow.
UFO. Yeah.
There it goes. Into the tree. Can you see no more?
I'll put it.
Think about it. They even came down, bro, with information and everything. He said they was gonna upgrade us. You know what I'm saying? Just go back and do your research. Read those tablets. Read the books. Everything, man. They got translations for stuff too. You know, decode it as best as possible that makes sense to you, man. It's out there. Real talk.
Now put your hand on the Bible. Swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Cyril, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Really? Well, no, it's a real Bible. You have the opportunity to have $5,000.
The meeting is not open.
Well, you have $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. I have a tape.
It'll be fine.
Why don't you swear to? Why not? Why won't you do it? So why don't you put your hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
Mr. Cyril has made a fool of himself in front of the world.
They're faking a shot of being halfway to the moon. And they refer to you on the tape as a shot that was done during Apollo 10, where you put a transparency over the window and move the camera of the Earth and move the camera back away from the window. turned off the lights in the spacecraft, and appeared to be halfway to the moon when in fact they were in Earth orbit.
Huh, really?
Yeah, and they said it was the same way that you did it on Apollo 10. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to put your left hand on the Bible, to raise your right hand, to swear to God. Well, you were given the opportunity to swear to God under oath that you walked on the moon.
I don't do that.
Well, if you really walked on the moon, what's the problem with swearing to God that you did it? Do you believe in God?
You want me to not do it again?
Well, I want you to swear to God on the Bible that you walked on the moon. If you walked on the moon, we're giving you the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell out of that, or you're going to leave me alone.
Hey, Granddad's gonna knock the hell out you, man, about this moon landing.
Yeah, people come out and they've run out of anecdotes, you know, and they just start making stuff up.
Yeah.
Like that Neil Armstrong guy. Have you seen him on the talk shows?
Neil Armstrong, you mean the first man to walk on the moon?
Talk about a fish story.
Yeah.
Man, and they're buying it.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that fake laugh. Yeah. He know it to be true too.
What they don't want you to know.
Looks just like the hair on our heads today. So if anybody tries to tell you that Egypt is a white civilization, you can point out this hair. So those of you who have your cameras, you want to make sure you take a good picture of it. But this is what Gaston Maspero, an Egyptologist, said about the hair in the Nile in Egypt. He says the hair was inclined to be wavy and even to curl into little ringlets, but without ever turning into the wool of the Negro. But take a look at that hair. It looks like wool, doesn't it? This is a picture of the hair that's on a figure that was found. So you can see what the person looks like and what the hair looks like.
Message.
There's a profound difference between Kemet and Egypt. Egypt is a Greek word that was used to describe one temple in Kemet. And so Kemet was ruled by indigenous African people. Egypt was ruled by Greeks for approximately 600 years. So if you look at that image on the screen, you can see 9 African rulers of Kemet and 3 European rulers of Egypt.
If you read what the Greeks said, not what we think, but if you read what the Greeks said, they got everything from Egypt. They got all their knowledge from Egypt. Pythagoras spent 15 years in Egypt, and what did he have to do? He probably had to spend 5 years convincing them that he was worthy to get the knowledge that they had. And the Greeks did this. And they said that they got all their knowledge from the Egyptians. Remember, knowledge was power. Knowledge was sacred. Knowledge was something you just didn't publish in the newspapers. Knowledge was guarded very closely because it was of tremendous value. You wouldn't give it to anybody. Now, when did we come up with the idea that the Greeks created everything from scratch? It happened in the 18th and 19th century. And in the 18th and 19th century, it was decided that it was just not appropriate for all this knowledge to come from an African country.
So if you didn't know, in order for these elites to control an entire planet, they have to show us how they're controlling us. Because if they don't, it'll interfere with the Galactic Federation of Light, which is very much real. Oppressors literally have to know the ins and outs of our entire universe and how things work in our universe. And they also have to know what the fullest potential is of a human being. They have to know these things because if they didn't, they wouldn't have been able to control us for thousands of years. Do me a favor and read this real quick. It is a universal law that you cannot manipulate a planet without the inhabitants, us, knowing it. This is why the elite control Hollywood hide messages in plain sight. These entities believe that by subliminally telling us what they're doing through media, we consent by not rejecting it. We take it as jokes or entertainment, while it is in fact a message from the hidden hand, which we can use to decipher their plans. Hint, hint, The Simpsons and so many more movies.
Hey, real talk, you see The Simpsons,